pitching matchup, Dustin May, Sonny Gray. Is there anything that kind of excites you about just the talent that's going to be out there today?
It does. Sonny is a guy that I've always admired from afar. I think he's a really good competitor. He seems to always pitch well against us at Dodger Stadium in particular. And so just to have Dustin out there is always a good thing. So it's going to be fun. I think we both have a chance to win a series, and I'm looking forward to it.
When it comes to just finding ways to attack Sonny Gray, what's got to be the focus for the offense?
Yeah, well, Sonny is it's sort of a kitchen sink. It's various breaking balls. It's a good fastball that he can locate, pitches down but can elevate when he needs to. Pretty neutral as far as versus lefties versus righties, as we got some righties in there today, which I like, and I wanted to get Trayce in there, get him a start, want to get CT a start. So I like the kind of the balance we have in the lineup, but it's going to be a good one.
We talked about it a little bit the other night, but just adjusting to a different kind of role for Trayce. How has he sort of handled that while also sort of trying to work his way out of this slump?
I think the last week has been better. I think not only just performance, quality of it bad, I think just kind of his outlook on the day-to-day. I don't fault any player for wanting to be out there every day, but I think that there's power in having some resolve into knowing this is your role on the ball club. So, ironically, he's starting today against a right-handed pitcher, but it's a guy that I feel righties have success against him, and I want to get him a start. So, I think that he's kind of feels that right now, and that's a good thing.
Dustin May's season starting to remind you a little bit about Walker's breakout season where he really kind of established himself?
Yeah, I think that's fair. As a start, you're kind of getting your feet wet and trying to figure yourself out, figure the league out, and then there's comes a point where there's real confidence for a young player and not contrived. And I think that right now, Dustin feels like when he takes the mound, he's the best guy out there, and he can go out there and dominate. And I think Walker felt that, I think in his second or third year.
What is the biggest difference to him this year? Is it sort of just that mentality getting back for him? Is it mechanics kind of cleaning up after surgery? What has been different about Dustin this year?
I think Dustin is understanding what it's like to be a major league pitcher. I think when he was younger, I think he was, you just try to bully guys. And at this level, you just can't do that because they just don't fear the baseball. They don't fear stuff. You got to make pitches. And so now, with that mindset, I think his delivery is much more consistent, and he's making more quality pitches.
Seems like he's on his way to doing that in 21 before the elbow.
He was. Yeah.
Any roster moves today?
Yeah, we're these relievers are going to go out there. It's going to be a reliever. We're just trying to figure out how guys feel today. So Dylan's going to be activated. So we'll see. I really don't know right now. So we've got a little bit more time.
Dave, with Shelby Miller, is he everything that you thought he was going to be, or a little bit more?
He's more. I think he's what I thought he'd be as a pitcher, but as a teammate, he's more. There's a lot of things that happen under the hood in the clubhouse that he brings guys together. A little bit of that kind of old school camaraderie that I love with players, and he is a big advocate of that. And it's been good.
Is that mostly in the bullpen?
Under the hood for those numbers before the season. What were some of the things that kind of stood out that made you say, "This is a guy that we wanted to know"?
It's elite fastball characteristics. Certainly the velocity has been better the last 3 outings. So there's some rise to his fastball. Plays really well. And it's a plus split change kind of thing, and the slider's gotten better.
When you talk about that camaraderie, is that mostly in the bullpen, or do you see that kind of team-wide with whatever Shelby specifically is?
Most specifically to the pen, which there's still 8 guys. That's a third of our ball club. But around the clubhouse, everyone gravitates towards him, and he was a starter before. He's a reliever now. He's a veteran player, so he kind of checks a lot of different boxes for guys.
The last couple weeks for Outman, do you think it's sort of the natural sort of ebb and flow for a rookie season, or is there anything kind of more to the struggles in the last couple of weeks?
I think it's the natural ebb and flow for young players. Today's not going to be a gauge because it's not true velocity, which has really been getting James. So I think today's one of those days that, you just got to stay to the middle of the field. So, but I think that the answer is it's part of the natural ebbs and flows of development.
Now that you've gotten a chance to see it from the other side for a couple of days, what is different, if anything, about Joey Gallo than what he was for the second half of last year?
I think he certainly seems comfortable over there. I think maybe there's something to the fact that he started spring training there. He got to go and learn these guys and get comfortable, where I don't think that he was ever comfortable with us. I think he liked being here, but I don't think he was comfortable. And with that, I think, he's always works hard. He's a great teammate. He's just having more success. So I don't really know. I would sort of attribute that to his comfort level in that clubhouse.
He kind of referenced Cody, sort of similar situation where they each needed some time to step away from the whole season, the whole situation, so the New York stuff kind of lingered in LA, and sort of refresh. How much do you feel like that sort of benefit a guy like that?
I think there's a lot to that. I think sometimes people can't appreciate that because you can't really quantify it. But I think that, the mind, the psyche, the refresh, restart is huge,
You talked a lot in spring training about the uncertainty this year, that we're turning over a lot of the roster, maybe you're going to have to learn some things. Quarter of the way through the season now, what have you learned about this team and what are you still trying to find out?
I've learned that it's a tough ball club. There's a will to win across the room, and I think that every manager is going to say that, but I don't think that's necessarily the case. There's a genuine like and respect for one another, and that's 1 through 26, which is, again, that's very hard to find. So even when we were kind of middling at 500, I was bullish on this team because of those variables. So I think the last part of it is guys are starting to really kind of understand, embrace their roles. Because I think that, once you don't know until the season starts really and how it plays out. And so guys are settling in a little bit.
As far as when you hear that saying about your record is what you are, or whatever the paraphrase.
Yeah, that's right.
You are what your record is.
That's right. Who was that? Was that Parcells? That wasn't Herm Edwards. Herm Edwards was we are who they thought they were.
No, that's Dennis Green.
Oh yeah, that was right. And we let him off the hook. Okay, sorry about that.
No, I got to find out my question. But off that though, are we far enough in the season where you guys are what your record says what you are? Or are you still trying to figure that part out?
I think so. I think I think that I think this is who we are. Yeah. I wouldn't have said that we were a one game below 500 team, even at that point. But I think this is kind of who we are, yeah.
We've seen from Justin Bruihl this year, he seems to have taken a step forward.
Justin, can't say enough about him, how he's handled the up, down, the elevator, and not let it affect performance. He just pitched 3 in a row after an up, down. I think there's life to the ball now. There's a confidence there. There's an edginess. And we're lucky to have him. Very lucky to have him.
With all the young guys you guys have traded over the years, guys you get to know in spring training, maybe a little bit here, and then you need to move them. Do you follow those guys? Do you stay in touch?
All the time. Oh yeah, I follow all those guys. I keep tabs on them, and it just speaks to, the guys that I follow, they've performed. They've gone to different places, and, as a coach, I'm just always going to be invested in the people, and whether they're wearing a Dodger uniform or not. So I look forward to, even Maeda, not a young player, but had a good chat with him once he came back, and whether it's Alex Wood, Ross Stripling, Mitchell White, all these guys, Gus Farland, different guys. Saw Brock Stewart a couple days ago, and so, always keeping tabs.
Well, the guys in Washington are doing pretty well, looks like.
Caber, Josiah's having a great season right now, so absolutely.
Brock Stewart wasn't throwing 95 with you guys, though.
He wasn't. He did a thing, this off-season program a couple years ago, and he resuscitated himself, which is great for him.
Do you see Josiah as a guy who could break out the way he has this year?
Yeah.
What made you think that?
Josiah's tough. Josiah is very confident. He's tough. He's got an elite fastball. There's a plus changeup in there. The question was, can he spin the baseball? And so I haven't, looked so closely, but if he can spin the baseball, he can be really, really good.